TSN senior correspondent Rick Westhead joins us now with more on this. Rick, thanks very much for joining us.
Hi, good morning.
The news conference just happened by Soccer Canada. What have we learned? What's the latest?
Well, Canada Soccer is in full crisis mode, no question. The chief executive of the federation, Kevin Blue, said that he's in conversations with the International Olympic Committee and FIFA. He and his colleagues are in conversations, and they're trying desperately to ensure that, if there are further sanctions, that these governing bodies take into consideration the fact that the players are not culpable for anything that might have happened vis-a-vis spying and the use of drones, the inappropriate use of drones. Maybe the biggest revelation in the press conference, even though this is a relatively, new and developing story, he said that the federations learned that there was an attempted use of a drone during the recent Copa America tournament. Remember that amazing run that Team Canada went on, the men's national team, made it so far in the Copa America. He was quick to add that the new head coach of Team Canada, Jesse Marsh, wasn't aware of that drone use until after, and that he quickly denounced the practice to his staff. I think over the next weeks and months, we're going to hear a lot more about this, more anecdotes, more people coming forward. In my reporting, we wrote on, we kind of broke a story about how extensive and historical the use of spying has been by both national team programs. And one of the things that came across to me was how afraid people were of retribution from the federation if they came forward and shared their stories. I was told that, junior staffers and contractors connected to the program have been told, you must do this. You need to give 110%. You need to go the distance and be part of this team. And if you're not, well, maybe there's not a place here for you. So again, it'll be interesting to see how many more people kind of summon the courage to come forward and, share just how extensive this has been.
Have we heard anything about the players knowing that this drone video, this footage was shot? And it's been going on for a while, as you mentioned. Did they know about it, or were they simply benefiting from the coaches using it?
Well, actually, Kevin Blue said that in these Olympics in France, that the players have had no involvement, no knowledge. I asked Kevin Blue during the press conference, and maybe we can watch this clip here. I asked him about whether he was aware of any connection between players historically and the use of drone footage.
I'm not aware. And again, Rick, you'll have to forgive me. This issue is newly trying to find the right language. I am newly appreciating the apparent depth and extent of this issue, apparent depth and extent of it. And as a result, I don't have an extensive understanding of how previous players in previous eras under previous coaching staffs may have interacted or not with some of the information.
And the context for that is I was asking whether Kevin Blue was aware of any players who'd been offered the chance historically to review secret drone footage and had declined. He said, obviously, he doesn't know if that's the case yet. Canada Soccer's pledged to hire an independent third party to investigate these allegations and find out just how widespread this was. That's a process that's going to take months. I don't think they've hired a firm to do that. But it is encouraging, at least, that the federation has also promised that whatever results are, that they're going to make them public and be transparent about this.
Now, is this enough that the Canadian team could be sent home?
I'm not sure. I'm not an expert on the inner workings of the International Olympic Committee or how that works. I think that there's a real worry that, New Zealand has asked, Canada beat New Zealand 2-1 yesterday, and New Zealand asked before the match that if Canada were to win, that it not be awarded any points for its victory because of this, because earlier this week, one of the Canadian staffers was caught twice flying a drone over New Zealand's closed practice. I asked Kevin Blue whether any of the intelligence gained from those drone flights had been used in preparation for the game against New Zealand, and he said no. Again, we'll have to wait and see. On one hand, you'll have Canada. We have Canada, which is, advocating on behalf of players who've got no connection to this, trying to argue, that the sanctions that our own federation has levied have been enough. Again, 2 coaches were sent home, and now Bev Priestman is being sent home. The Canadian staff has been required to take mandatory ethics training, and Canada Soccer is hoping that that's enough. On the other hand, you may well have other federations behind the scenes pressing for more, saying, no, Canada, we need to make an example of Canada and hold them accountable for what's happened here.
Okay, Rick, thank you very much for that. We appreciate it.
Pleasure.